What's going on, everyone? Hope we're all having a great day. We saw in both The Empire Strikes Back as well as Return of the Jedi, Palpatine wanted Luke to become his new apprentice. But why was Palpatine so obsessed with the idea of having Luke as his apprentice when he already had Darth Vader, who was incredibly powerful in his own right? Let's dive into it. In the prequels, we saw that Palpatine had a few apprentices, with Darth Maul and Count Dooku, eventually leading him to Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, as his final apprentice. Palpatine spent years manipulating Anakin to question the Jedi as a whole, as well as feeding Anakin's ego, to where eventually Palpatine had the powerful apprentice he had always dreamed of. But after Anakin's loss to Obi-Wan on Mustafar, this changed everything, where Vader was crippled and lost a decent amount of his full potential after his loss to his former master. This quote by George Lucas explains Palpatine's thoughts on Vader compared to Luke. Anakin as Skywalker, as human being, was going to be extremely powerful, but he ended up losing his arms and a leg and became partially a robot. So a lot of his ability to use the Force, a lot of his powers, are curbed at this point, because as a living form, there's not much left of him. So his ability to be twice as good as the Emperor had disappeared. And now he's maybe 20% less than the Emperor, so that isn't what the Emperor had in mind. He wanted this really super guy, but that got derailed by Obi-Wan. So he finds that with Luke. He gets a more primo version if he can turn Luke to the dark side. We've seen it in the comics and even the films that Palpatine wanted to replace Vader and was always testing him. At this point, Palpatine treated Vader more like an errand boy rather than a true apprentice. After Vader lost everything, he became depressed and full of self-loathing, that he didn't even want to continue the rule of two and kill his master, as Palpatine was really the only thing Vader had left in his life. We covered this in another video. If you want to check out that one, I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. Unlike Vader, who at this point was deeply scarred by his past and was a shell of what Palpatine dreamed of, Luke was like a new canvas, where he was unshaped, and Palpatine thought that Luke would be ripe for manipulation. Palpatine also viewed Luke's turn as a final victory over the Jedi as well as the Rebellion, that if Palpatine could turn the Jedi's last hope and the hero of the Rebellion to the dark side, and turn on all of his friends and allies, that this would be the final victory in Palpatine's grand plan. Just like Luke told the Emperor that his overconfidence is your weakness, Luke was right. Palpatine thought he could turn Luke just like he turned Vader, and Palpatine was wrong. Luke had a strong moral conviction and the hope to see good in others, as he sensed the good in his father, Darth Vader. While Luke faced challenges just like his father Anakin, Luke didn't have the same long-term exposure to the dark side that Anakin did, as Palpatine manipulated Anakin for years, while Luke was under the guidance of Yoda and Obi-Wan, who taught him the dangers of the dark side and how to resist its temptations. Palpatine, who had won so much over the years, including his victories over the Jedi and democracy, thought there was no way he could lose. Palpatine ended up being wrong and underestimated the person Luke was and just how different Luke's life was from his father. Overall, because Palpatine had a hunger for the perfect apprentice after Vader was crippled, he thought the son of the Chosen One would be the perfect replacement. But Palpatine was too overconfident, and in the end, ended up being betrayed by his apprentice, who came back to the light to save his son. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.